no one expects to run into. They're past when they've already built a completely different life. Not like this, not when everything finally feels stable, controlled, predictable. But life doesn't really care about timing. My name is Adrian Cole. I'm 41 years old, and for the past decade I've been known as one of the most successful investors in the country. People call me disciplined, strategic, untouchable, the kind of man who doesn't make emotional decisions, the kind of man who always wins. What they don't know is that there was a time when I lost everything that actually mattered. It happened on a random Tuesday afternoon, no warning, no build-up, just a moment that shouldn't have meant anything. I had just finished a meeting downtown, another deal closed, another number added to a list that stopped feeling important. A long time ago, my driver was waiting outside, engine running, schedule tight as always, and then I saw her. At first I didn't recognize her, not completely. She was standing near a small cafe across the street holding a paper bag, dressed simply, no luxury brands, no attention drawn to her, just ordinary. But something about the way she stood, the way she looked down for a second before crossing the street, it felt familiar, too familiar. I told the driver to wait and stepped out of the car without thinking. I didn't plan it, I didn't analyze it, I just moved. By the time I got closer, there was no doubt left. It was her, Sophia, my ex-wife, the woman I hadn't seen in 8 years. For a second, everything around me faded, the noise, the traffic, the people, none of it mattered. It was like my mind had pulled me back into a version of my life I thought I had already buried. She hadn't seen me yet. I could have walked away, I should have, but I didn't. Sophia, I said. Her name felt strange in my voice, like something I hadn't used in years but never really forgot. She froze, slowly turned around, and when her eyes met mine, I saw at that same moment of recognition, shock, confusion, and something else, something she hid almost instantly. Adrian, she said quietly. Hearing my name from her felt different, not like when anyone else said it. Yeah, I replied. For a second neither of us said anything. 8 years, and all we had was silence. You look, she started, then stopped herself. Different, I finished for her. She gave a small, almost nervous smile. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Another pause. I looked at her more carefully. Now she had changed, of course. She had, but not in the way I expected. She didn't look like someone who had chased the same kind of life I did. No signs of luxury, no signs of wealth, just simplicity, and for some reason that bothered me more than it should have. What are you doing here? I asked. I live nearby, she said, just grabbing lunch. Her tone was calm but distant, careful, like she was choosing every word. And you? She asked. Work, I said shortly. She nodded. Of course, that was always my answer. We stood there like strangers, trying to remember how to talk to each other. I didn't expect to see you, she said finally. Neither did I. That was the truth. But it wasn't the whole truth, because the reality was I had imagined this moment more times than I would ever admit. Just not like this, not random, not unprepared. I heard about you, she added. After a moment I raised an eyebrow slightly. Heard what? That you did? Well, she said very well. There was no sarcasm in her voice, no bitterness, just a statement. Yeah, I said. I didn't elaborate because there was nothing to explain. Money, success, status, none of it had anything to do with her, and somehow that made it feel meaningless. In that moment she shifted slightly, adjusting the bag in her hands. I should go, she said. Of course she should. This wasn't a conversation, this was a collision, and collisions don't last. But something in me didn't want it to end like that. Wait, I said. She stopped. I hesitated for a second. Something I don't usually do. Are you okay? I asked. It was a simple question, but it carried more than I intended. She looked at me, really looked this time, and for a brief moment I saw something break through her calm expression. I'm fine, she said, too quickly, too